Warning: the Chaotic Culture Podcast is a program for mature audiences. The language and content presented in this podcast is of a mature nature that some audiences may not find suitable. Viewer and listener discretion is advised. We are all living in a chaotic period, and this is a creative space where that chaos and social constructs may collide. But it is up to us to embrace and celebrate the culture, but to destroy and survive the chaos. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Chaos Zone. And this is the Chaotic Culture Podcast with Ked the Pro and Law. Please proceed with caution. Good morning. Welcome back to another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. It's your boy Ked the Pro. Once again here with my co-host, my boy Law.
What's going on?
Yes,
How
sir.
y'all feeling?
Hope everybody has had a good week. You know, a lot of things happened this past week, that we just have to kind of get through. But hopefully everybody out there was able to maintain. Everybody, I hope, was staying safe. And of course, y'all know we are still in the middle of a pandemic. Please continue to wear your mask. Please continue to practice social distancing, all that good stuff. For those of y'all who are in marches and protests and fighting right now, please continue to fight the good fight. We're using this platform to continue that fight with you all. So please continue doing what it do, and hopefully that we can make change in our society. That being said, just got to make sure that, everybody in the room is good. How's your week been, Law?
It's been challenging. It hasn't been bad. It's just been more so one of those weeks where like one thing after the next, feel like I'm in an avalanche.
I got you. Yeah, it's
compacted together.
It seems like a consistent consistent amount of events just keep happening, and we just keep getting caught in the middle, But I mean, I guess that's life for real. There ain't much we can do about it, but just kind of, carve our own path and roll with the punches, and hopefully we don't get we just continue without it breaking us and shit. Because the one thing we want to be able to do is just continue fighting, not only for in the community ourselves, but just for ourselves, because, life is hard. And unfortunately, it ain't going to give out, no easy ways or easy paths just to be successful or just for us to find our own way of life. We just got to keep going, despite the fact. But I do hope that, if when we're dealing with these kind of things, that we can just, talk it out and chat about it to be sure that, we still good and that we don't need to go see a therapist or anything. And if you do, but of course,
mental health is
exactly.
If you feel like or are having thoughts of, suicide, go out and reach out and talk to somebody, because at the end of the day, you taking your life is greatly impacting the lives of other people, whether you believe it or not.
Yes, sir. So with that, we're going to get right into it. We have another guest on our show today. So just a little bit of background before he kind of introduces himself. We actually met him. Well, I actually met him. I guess it's working on 10 years now. It's been a while back. I met him through a brother of mine in the drum line. Shout out to TNT if you're listening. This is how I met him. We found out, of course, not only was he a cool dude, but I mean, he could rap. And that was one of the first things we noticed about him. Was like him and TNT were working on music, and we said, okay, all right, cool, man. This dude can really flow. I appreciated it, and I messed with it. So, I mean, clearly we've been, it's been a minute because both of us, got lives and both of us have to work and whatnot, but I'm glad he's back in the building. So we know him as Daryl, but he does have a rap name out there. So go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, man. It's your boy Phil Me out here.
Hey.
Yeah.
So thank you for coming through, feel me. We definitely appreciate you being on here. So we do have a few questions, of course, for you, but ultimately, I'm just gonna start with, man. How have you been?
Man, I've been great. Actually, just getting back to my bearings. You know what I'm saying? A lot, like you said, has happened in public and personal lives too. But really just getting my bearings of who I am, getting the foundation, trying to get these businesses off the ground for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? You really want to look into getting your businesses started. I'm trying to get at least 5 on my hand started. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's always a battle. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you uncomfortable, never get comfortable. That's all I can say. As long as you're uncomfortable, man, just keep getting this money.
I'm learning that lesson just at work, man. Like cannot be comfortable at all.
At all. And I got too comfortable, especially for a 9 to 5, man. I just feel like you can get real complacent in what you're doing at work, especially when everything's provided for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, other than that, man, I've been great, man.
That's good. So, a quick question, like tell us about the first time like you actually just started to like rap for real. Like what made you want to get into rapping?
I was really always creative with my words at a young age, but it would be like little poetry notes you write to your girlfriend, this, that, and the third. But like even my friends back then used to like read my little notes or read what little raps you write around your friends and stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh man, like we got a little something going on." Really didn't take it serious.
Of course.
I was always into music. I played saxophone in middle school, all the way through high school. Marching band in high school for me, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I did not care for it. It was a lot of river dancing, music that we were playing. Of course, the band director has their way of what wants to be played or how they feel should be for a marching season. They weren't listening to the students or what they wanted to. This is a lot.
Was it like a core style band? Okay, I'm very, very familiar with that. So
yeah, for real. When I got to college, man, I didn't even want to do anything in marching at all. Like I got away from it, and I kind of say I lost myself. But then I got back into it. I say my junior year in college. And that's when TNT and we started really working on music. He was in the beats. He was always making my beats. You know what I'm saying? I was on the track. And M&B, shout out TWM on that motherfucker. But yeah, after we got hooked up on that, that's when it just started flourishing.
Okay. Word, man. So definitely appreciate the honesty with that. When, or I should say, like before you dropped this latest project, how many other projects were you working on beforehand?
I actually was I've been working on this one project called Good Vibes Only. It's a different side to me. But before I put that out, of course I wanted to get everybody's attention. But I also been working on a lot of singles, doing projects with my boy Scoozy. I know you've heard of him.
Yep.
I got another song with AWOL. I got like a lot of projects that I've been working on, but this I Supply the Product that I put out, that I've been sitting on for a minute. So I'm actually pretty happy that I got it out. But yeah, we're gonna do numbers.
Okay. Is this like your first major project that you just like dropped on streaming?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where? So hey, let's get into it, man. Look, as far as I Supply the Product, what was the motivation behind it?
One thing I always remember when I was young in English class, that you want to grab the attention of your reader. So I always, when I write, I always try to think on that first line, what am I going to say that's going to grab their attention? You got to do that with everything you do, your branding, you know what I'm saying? So when I developed I Supply the Product, I kind of took the drug twist on it. And everybody's intrigued. No matter how far they go, like if they're trying to stop drugs or even trying to be a partake in it, they're always intrigued about it. So I Supply the Product makes basically my spin on it. And then people are wondering, oh man, what is he supplying? So you got to supply a good product. So of course, my music has to be banging. So that's why I just made I Supply the Product.
Okay. Word. Take us through each of the tracks, man, that you put on it, because I see like when you look at the tape, it's 6 tracks. So tell us a little bit about what you were going through when you made these tracks and how it all fit together to actually create this this piece of art.
So, of course, you got the intro on there, and that's basically I wanted to make it sound like this is your first time into the drug world.
Okay.
It actually will take you, once you listen into it, it will take you on that path where you feel like the hair is raising on the back of your neck type ordeal. And then from there, we go into like a sit down. And if you already know, you watch the mafia movies and stuff like that, you'll see like they'll have a sit down and they'll talk amongst their gangsters and stuff like that. So this is more like a conversation, you know what I'm saying? Then you got Hot Pursuit, you know, it's in the name. What do you know what I'm saying? We in Hot Pursuit for what? For the money, you know what I'm saying? So of course, any drug organization, any type of business, anything that you're involved in, you want to be in Hot Pursuit for that money.
Right.
Special delivery, that's the packages, you know what I'm saying, that you get. Of course, this is a special delivery. That and the flows in there is special. That I'm on there with my boy Country. Oh, and Hot Pursuit, I'm on there with my boy Slade. These both of them men are part of the team I'm on, UVA, University of Virginia. So after you get special delivery, of course you gotta talk about the plug.
Yeah.
So that's what we got up there, the plug, and then it just ended back into a dope EP that I put out. So we finished off with dope.
Okay.
So I'm gonna make it self-explanatory for real.
Got you. I wanted to get a little bit into Sit Down only because I had like just was listening to it beforehand, and I noticed somebody who we actually just had on this podcast earlier, Tyrone Leak Jr. was in the background.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So what inspired you to get him on that track, just to, with the background vocals and everything?
If you know Leak, Leak. Tyrone Leak. Say the whole motherfucking name. If you know Leak, that man is an old soul.
Yes.
And I really wanted somebody with a lot of character and with that old soul, you know what I'm saying, to kind of be the comic relief, but also like, yo, this is serious. Y'all need to listen type of ordeal. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get Leak on there. I had to get Leak up there.
Got you. Yeah, because I noticed he was on there, and I'm like, dang, y'all got like a couple tracks together, because I mean he just dropped his product, his project, excuse me, good grief.
Talking about the product.
Yeah. So he just dropped the project, The Best Feeling, on there, and of course y'all were on a track together. So I kind of figured, I'm like, well, dang, man, like y'all was really working and putting in work for these projects here.
Oh yeah, there's more to come. Just know. We working.
All right, cool. I'm expecting it, man. Like, shoot, y'all always. Well, I've always been a fan of yours, because like I knew that you could rap. Like when Leak first started, and he could tell you in the interview, if you go out and actually listen to it, guys, that there were a lot of people who didn't take him seriously. Yeah. But the more that we were just doing it, the more I'm like, yo, he actually does want to rap, and I actually am. If he does this thing, then I'm going to support him, because. Yeah, he really was about it, and I'm glad to see that he's actually doing this rap thing for real. Before we get, I guess, into more of the conversation here, talk a little bit about the motivation behind Pull Up, even though it's not on your particular project. I just definitely wanted to hear your
Hey,
that was Hot Pursuit, guys, but that's not, I was gonna play that, but I'm gonna get into it later. But yeah, talk about Pull Up.
Now like Leak, I feel like has his own genre, like for real. Like so he hit me up talking about, yo, I want you to be on this song. Let me know if you like fuck with the beat. So send it to me. Of course, I'm listening to the beat. I'm like, yo, this is the weirdest beat I have ever heard in my life. I don't know what I'm about to do with this shit. So I sat back. It took me a minute. I told him it was gonna take me a minute because it's out of my pocket. But after I laid that track, and then after he did what he did, and it came together, we didn't even have an idea what it was gonna be. I literally wrote my verse, and then he came in and did everything else. But the way that it just sounded like we were ready to pull up on anybody type ordeal. You know what I'm saying? No matter who it is. Because what I started off, I'm in the business of taking risks. We get lots of interest on a brick. Taking these coke lines, I abusing the open. Don't be a bitch is the slogan. You a kid in adult time. We in the places you won't find and limits where the fault lies. So it's like, yeah, it's just a whole character of just being mean. Like, yo, I'm gonna pull up on you. Don't mess around.
Literally being TTG. At the drop of a dime. We out. Got the keys, everything. You know what I'm saying? What really like inspired you to continue? Like, I know you said that like you was tired of like dabbling in the 9 to 5 and that wasn't really for you. So like what made you really just was like, all right, bet, let's get it.
I feel like I said, I was being complacent, right?
Mm-hmm.
And at that time I was in a relationship. So a lot of things was like falling through. Like when I was at my 9 to 5 for CarMax, I got fired. Shorty had left me. And it was like a moment where you had to sit back and like, you ask yourself all the time, is it my fault, this, that, and the third? But you can't sit too long.
Right.
And that's why I was saying, like, I got tired of being comfortable. So I just started putting myself in uncomfortable positions. Not saying like an uncomfortable position where I'm gonna get in trouble or anything. Just, you know what I'm saying? If I want something to work or I want to accomplish something by the end of the week, I'm gonna do it, regardless of how I feel about it. If I'm tired, I'm still gonna do it.
So to a degree, you had to hit that reset.
I had to, like, because you're not gonna really get what you want unless you work for it. You can ask God all you want, but until you put some work in and He see you want it, you're gonna still be in the same spot.
Makes sense.
So
cool, man. As far as your album, how long did it take you to actually put it all together and just say, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and release it?
I say that took about a year.
Okay.
And the reason why it took a year is because we had I Supply the Product finished last year.
Okay.
But with me continuing to make songs and trying to find where I was gonna put stuff, we were taking songs off, adding songs on. Things were getting reproduced. Like it was a lot going on. So by the time I really sat down, I was like, all right, it's ready to go out. And now we here.
Okay.
It took a minute, but nah, I'm happy it's out.
Hey man, I mean, and that's fair, because when we talked to other artists who came in here, when we talked to Leak, when we talked to Chanasa, it took them, a good range of time for them to like finally put a project together and a project that they could be proud of. And one of the things that I say on this platform is just like, man, take your time with your art. Like, don't rush out something that you're not going to be satisfied with. So ultimately, I'm proud that, you actually took your time with this and didn't just rush out something, because I know that you've, again, been going in and out with music and whatnot, but it's good that you put out a project that you could actually, be proud of and say, hey, I put this out and I'm satisfied with it. So I think that's what's most important.
Exactly, man.
So tell me a little bit more about like who produced each beat, because I did hear on Hot Pursuit. Of course, I heard Jack Union, which we already know who that is. For those who don't know, it's Jack Union. It's our boy Bermuda. Dude can really, he's an instrumentalist. Dude he was nasty on set when I first met him, and then next thing I know, he's making beats, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, this man can make some. Yeah, he's a monster. He can make some music. But tell us a little bit about like the production on this.
Jack Union produced everything on that album.
Oh, everything.
Jack Union produced all of my beats for right now. That man is a lifesaver. I'm trying to think what song I was talking about him on, but yeah, that's a godsend right there, for real.
Hey,
and the funny thing is, TNT introduced me to Bermuda like I want to say 10 years ago, right?
About around the same time that he first got here. So yeah, about 10 years ago. So
he introduced me to him. We were talking, chopping it up, and he said, "Yo, you gotta fuck with me." This was 10 years ago. I didn't eventually fuck with Jack Union until 5-6 years after that.
Hey, but sometimes that's it's not your time, it's God's time. And for
right.
Think about it. Had you actively pursue, getting into music back then, and you wasn't ready,
would it still be the same quality type? You know what I mean?
Right. You know what I mean? So like the fact that you had to go through some things, you had to experience life, you had to put the puzzle pieces together in order to make Phil. You know what I'm saying? Make Phil, and then you turn around and you link up with Jack. Nah, look, you got a banger with more heat on the way. I think, bro, it's all about the timing, bro.
Real.
Yeah, man. So, for those who don't know, Jack Union, again, we call him Bermuda. His real name is Arian LaSalle, but dude is a monster. Please go check him out. Definitely check out his music, the beats that he produced. I'm trying to find his.
I can tell you that. Yeah. Go check him out at its_Jack Union.
There you go. Hey, so I ain't got to worry about it. And you can find him on Instagram. I definitely got to hit him up too, because I definitely want to talk to him about like the music that he's been producing. Because the dude is multi-talented when it comes to music, and I knew he was talented when he first got to the area, but I didn't realize just how talented he was until I heard one of his beats. I'm just like, well, damn, okay, surprised the hell out of me. Word. So, is there anything particularly about this project that you're most proud of? Like, is there any particular song that you really, really like, or a song that that you worked your hardest on, and that you put your all into, that you can hold above the others, or do they all hold about equal weight?
I'm about to say I love all of them, but I ain't gonna lie to you. Dope. That song I've been working on for the past 5 years. I started the beat, like the instrument. I made that myself, and then I passed it to Bermuda, and it became what it is now. But that I love that song. And then the newest song up there, The Plug. That song by far is the most chill song I feel like I've made to date, because it's a great song. That's the song you're gonna have to sit back with a cigar and a nice little shot of Hennessy. You'll be straight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Word, man. So with that, in the next segment, guys, I'm gonna play a little bit of the songs that he's got here in the background while we continue talking with him. So hopefully you guys will get a chance to enjoy at least hearing a piece of it, if nothing else. We are definitely going to continue this conversation here in just a moment. So do not move. We will be right back. All right, and we're back. So once again, we wanted to thank Filmy for coming through and doing this interview, man. We definitely appreciate it.
No problem, man. No problem.
So we wanted to get more into, I guess, a little bit more about the branding side of I Supply the Product. So what are you doing to like get the word out about this particular project?
Of course, we got promotions. You know what I'm saying? I developed like little mini videos I'll be putting on Instagram, promoting them and stuff like that. Also, we got like a little PR team that we're in cahoots with right now. They're going to start promoting it. The eye-catching stuff that I was telling y'all about. So on the front, you'll see the package, right? I supply the product. And I also have shirts, like merchandise shirts, and sweatshirts and stuff like that. It's all on my website. But the shirts, when I start getting them in, I want to start shipping them out to people like the package on the front of the thing, on the front of the EP. So when you get it, you think you're getting your package, and you think you're getting the drug package, and you open it up, your t-shirt. Yeah. But that's basically that in a nutshell, how I'm gonna promote it a lot, get it out there. I know once I start shipping packages off, that's really gonna get my name out there.
Yeah. So word. So in regards to that, is there like any more promotional items that you're putting out there, like any mask, any other well, we talked about t-shirts, but like, are you doing masks, or are you doing anything else?
Right now, I do have masks at the house, because I also purchased a heat press machine.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I want to start making them at my house, so then it'd be real easy for me to ship them off. And of course, if you order them from the website, you're not going to get a package, an orange package. You're gonna get a regular little package from UPS. But yeah, I'm gonna start making everything in my room. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's another thing I'm working on also.
I'm about to say, have you thought about like stickers?
I thought about stickers, like even down to the tags on the t-shirts. Like, you know, if you ever purchase a Billionaires Boys Club t-shirt, they have a tag on it, but it also has like how can I say? It's an industrial sized sticker that goes onto your clothes or goes onto anything that you put it on. But that I also get a good promotion out for.
Talk about UVA and how
University of Virginia.
Yeah, how that came to be. And
that's actually our little company we starting up from the ground up. My boy Slade, he's the head of it. Got a couple more artists up there. You got Jay, you got my boy KBD. He just dropped his EP, No Dollar No Cents. Check that out. So we really got this little group, and we're going to expand. Because we got the right plays, we got the right people on the team. Bermuda in our back pocket, you know what I'm saying? We can go anywhere. So yeah, University of Virginia, it just started. So we trying to grow to be a big music company for real.
Okay.
Eventually.
I should say more so, what made you decide to like y'all band together to form University of Virginia?
I have trust issues. We just come down to that. I'd rather come up with people like consider my day ones, you know what I'm saying? Come with people that I got a strong hold with, that I'm in, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking with all the time. Nobody, like when we do certain things with people, we're there together to talk about the contract. You know what I'm saying? I don't have people set to go do things for me, sign the contract, and then come back to me and now I'm stuck on some bullshit because I didn't read it.
Right.
And I just feel like even though it's tough to start from the ground up, or tough not to have investors and all this other mess that you have behind, like being able to go and get a Lamborghini for your shoot and all that stuff like that. I don't have access to all that, but if we build it now, eventually I will easily at the drop of a hat. And I just feel like starting this from the ground up, we open up opportunities for other individuals like myself trying to be an independent artist and not trying to get played with the record company or getting a deal that you're only going to see a certain amount of money, dollars on, and while the company is making all the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what this company is about. So
I feel that.
Literally coining the term "everybody eat."
Yeah, pretty much.
And on this platform, of course, because this is pretty much a business. You know, we always do plus for Black-owned businesses on this platform because, I mean, look at what we are. You know, we're three Black gentlemen sitting here, you know, talking about what we want to do, you know, past 9 to 5s. So obviously we're, you know, if you give us the material, we're going to promote it. And I usually don't ask for money or anything like that. I'll promote it for free. I just, on my last episode, I promoted a business all the way out in Atlanta because I was just like, man, look, I just want to get the word out. Once I get more established, then we can talk about like funds monetary and whatnot. Value, yeah. But as of right now, I'm just trying to put people on just as much as, you know, I want them to put me on. I'm like, man, look, you don't got to pay for nothing because what am I going to do, man? I'm just trying to get this started off the ground too.
I feel like, yeah, this is a great time to try to start your business and get that support because a lot of Black businesses are starting to come into light. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are starting to go out and wanting to support, you know, wanting to spend their dollar with their fellow Black person. So it's a good time to, you know what I'm saying, start from the ground up.
Word, man, word. Law, you got any more questions in regards to that?
Man, that was pretty much it. I was just like, I hang out with Daryl outside of, you know, being Phil and being in music, and like he's giving me some inspiration in terms of actively searching to find my voice and who I am as an artist. So like to hear more background behind, you know, where he coming from, that just gives me more reassurance that, you know, I'm not gonna say it's like there's no hope, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's helping the fire to burn a little bit more brightly.
Word. I should say, or I should ask, in regards to this album, what do you expect to get out of this album being on, now that you put it out?
Of course, I want to get paid. You know what I'm saying? But of course that. But I want people to realize, not to toot my own, but how dope my lyrics are. Like I really take time in trying to produce like a story that I feel like people will want to hear. You know what I'm saying? And if you take time to listen to the bars and the double entendres and the personifications that I give you, I feel like you'll have a great product.
Okay. Hey man, I definitely am going to pay a lot more attention to this project. I was already like, when he told me about it and I saw your post about you dropping it, I initially thought it was just a song. I was like, oh shoot, Phil put out another song. And I'm like, wait, no, this is a whole 6-track EP. Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
And the funny part about it is he had the listening party. And I thought that it was already on streaming platforms. Mm-hmm. So like the next day I was like, I supplied a product, looking for it in the search bar. And I was just like,
that time was just available pre-order.
I was like, bro, where's it at? I hit his. I was like, Daryl, stop playing. Where's the music? He was just like, bro, just wait on it. It's coming, bro. I was just like, all right.
I ain't gonna lie to a lot of stuff went into it because we're doing this all the behind the scenes stuff. So we have to go on DistroKid and put all the information in. And a lot of times dudes doing this like in 4 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah.
Forget to put a name on the feature list or do this and that. We gotta go all the way back, take the thing down and do this. And it's like, oh my gosh. It gets frustrating, but like I said, like I'm just glad it's out. Like,
hey, word. In regards to hip hop right now, is there anybody in particular that's inspiring you to just to continue your craft?
Of course, Nip. When he was alive,
yeah,
I had Nip's first mixtape before like anybody heard of him, and then he dropped out for a while, and then he came back. I can't remember the one mixtape. It was like the red mixtape, but one of my favorite songs up there, "If You Were Mine," is up there.
Was it Crenshaw, or was it a different one?
I don't think it was Crenshaw.
Oh, see, so now I'm about to.
Now we gotta go back. You know what I'm saying? But he was definitely an influence.
Because or was it TMC?
Hey, let me see. I can't even remember.
Because I started listening to Nip right around Nip Hussle the Great. That's when I really started getting into Nipsey Hussle.
Okay.
So that was back.
I lied. Yeah, you were right. It's Crenshaw.
It was Crenshaw. Okay.
Yeah. That had one of my favorite songs on it. But Bullets, yeah. Bullets Ain't Got No Name. And all that, when he first came out, it was dope in 2013. But then after he dropped out and came back, it just grew. But Jay-Z,
of course.
The Storytellers, you know what I'm saying? Nas. It's just a lot of people. And then Dave East, he influences me a lot too.
Okay.
I fuck with Dave East. Now there's one artist I really want to do a track with, and that's J-Rock.
Oh, okay, yeah.
J-Rock is one dude I really want to do a track with. Like, I really fuck with J-Rock. I fuck with the whole TDE for real.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, J-Rock, that's the homie right there. I do want to do a track with him.
Man, look, I just remember the first time I had heard TDE. Matter of fact, it was J-Rock. It was him and Weezy, and I was like, because I didn't know who at that time. Of course, I didn't know who Kendrick was. I didn't know who Ab-Soul was, but I had heard the track with J-Rock. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm gonna take a listen. Listening to his first CD and whatnot when he still had a deal before that fell apart and whatnot, and then I think sometime in 2010 somebody had put me on to Kendrick, who was label mate with J-Rock. I was just like, okay. What was the first track I heard from Kendrick that really just like it blew me away? It was Look Out for Detox. It wasn't even something that was on one of his tapes. It was just someone saying
it was High Power.
Okay, that came out the very next year. But yeah, like someone was like, "Yo, check out Look Out for Detox." I was like, okay, so I recognize the beat. I'm thinking, okay, this is a Childish Gambino beat. I recognize the beat, and then dude just went off. I'm like. I literally sat back in my chair like, yo, who is this? Like, and I really love J-Rock, but it was just like when Kendrick came on, it was like, oh,
throw the spotlight, right?
Oh yeah, like
different.
Where did he come? I'm like, yo, where did he come from?
But then when they do tracks together,
oh yeah, they absolutely murder every track that they own together. It's like,
what's the one? They just put out a visual for
what was it, like Wild Freestyle?
That's my shit.
Yeah.
I'm about to tell you right now.
Yeah. Anybody else influence you that you can think of off the top of your head, of course?
Not even. And I'm thinking. I had a lot of old school influences like like Method Man,
of course.
You know what I'm saying? Wu-Tang, Redman, of course. But I was always listening to New York cats. And then my pops, he always played jazz. So that's where I get a lot of my rudiment, you know what I'm saying, rhyme schemes from too. Because I always listen to Coltrane like all the time. That was my favorite tenor sax. Like I love Coltrane. But yeah, not off the top of my head, I can't think of any more.
Man, you'd be surprised. A lot of people don't talk about John Coltrane like that. Like,
that's wild, cause man.
And honestly, you brought me back. I was like, yo, I ain't heard that name in a while. Hold on. And this is coming from someone who, of course, with me growing up in music and my musical background, it's like that's a name that I've heard a lot, but I just haven't heard in a while. So, man, I'm glad you triggered my memory on that one. I definitely appreciate that. Shoot. After we get done with this one, I might go listen to it right now. Put on some jazz and just.
I hear that.
Lay back.
Sure.
Yeah.
I will ask you, how has the happenings of recent culture in America affected your artistry and your ability to create music? Has it provided inspiration or a wave or a means of creating, or like has it like made you think more?
The whole issue with you just saying as far as like with COVID, or you just saying with the police brutality? What we going? Protest?
Police brutality, politics, everything.
With the COVID, of course, there's a little setbacks, but I feel like with COVID, it gives everybody a chance to breathe. Even though everybody went into a panic, of course, you know what I'm saying? They don't know if it's going to affect them supporting their families and, you know what I'm saying, kids getting to school and stuff like that, or even affecting your everyday life or what you're used to doing. I still think it made people sit down and like breathe, like for once, realize what's going on around you instead of hustling and bustling 24/7. But also it gives you a chance to work on you, like work on your craft. So even though it was a bad thing, I just feel like COVID was a blessing in disguise, for real. I feel like COVID was a start over.
It's funny you say that because I said that, I think, on one of the first episodes, I think it was.
Yeah, just for everybody.
I was just saying that it wasn't really a, like, granted, yes, it has its negative aspects, but in reality, like, it's all about your mindset and how you choose to move forward in the situation. Like, for me, like you said, and like I've said before, I've had to hit the reset button. You know what I'm saying? What is that? What I wanted? No, but at the same time, you gotta do what you gotta do. It's either you boss up or you lay down, and I prefer to boss up.
And with these protests, it's been going on for so long. It's almost like it's like we didn't learn anything from history because it's repeating.
Yeah.
Because what was it? They used to say how police was beating up black people back in the 80s, and white people didn't know it. White people were thinking that it was just a hoax until it came up into the newspapers or on the news, and like apparently black police beating up black people, like just because it's on the news now. And now that it's all on social media, everybody's still acting like it's a brand new thing. Yeah, so it's like
foolishness has to stop. Like, I can see from like year zero, even though that's not really a year 0 to 100, where you could be like, oh, that's a thing. Like then from like 100 to 200, like all right, come on now, like we out here getting beat up and slaughtered. Like it's not a regular thing.
It's not.
Then from 3 to 4, like all right, yo, people really are being treated unfair. Like, and I think now we're in a position and opportunity where us as Black people, we're going to be heard. You know what I'm saying? We're going to make people stop and listen. Like, I think that's what these protests are really showing to not only America, but other races as well. Like, we need to band together and really push for what it is that we want to see to change.
And like, of course, you got this dumbass president.
Yeah.
But with that, I just feel like we need to just stop trying to have a president for right now, if that's possible.
I see where you're coming from, but in a light, I don't think that is going to make a change.
The states already run themselves. You got mayor, got governors, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying do this forever. I'm just saying until niggas can actually build something to lead us that everybody can agree on. Come on, we've been following laws from 1776, bro.
The Constitution.
Shit hasn't changed since.
I definitely feel you saying. I think the main reason why we have like such a centralized government, and that just goes back to when the Constitution was first created, because they did try to let the states just govern themselves, and they realized, okay, that didn't work. Because I'm a history buff, so when they made the Articles of Confederation, like almost immediately after the Revolutionary War, and they realized, okay, this ain't working, so let's just go ahead and do what we got to do. And then, of course, I'm watching Hamilton, and Hamilton's like, okay, let's all. We're at a constitutional convention. We need a centralized government. This is the only way that this is going to work for us to be a new country. Now, I guess like in modern times, you can have a little more, I don't want to use the word autocracy, because that's what the United States is slowly becoming with this current president. And that's something that we want to try and avoid, because the moment this becomes an autocracy, we might be, for lack of a better term, we're going to be in trouble. But, pretty much with the states being able to handle their own, their own government and whatnot, you can add a little more freedom with that. But at the same time, when you got, as we say, when you got the idiot who's currently in the White House, it really just, nobody's going to be completely satisfied, because we have a lot of people on, especially a lot of Black people on our side, who are going to vote for Biden and Harris. And then you have those who are just not satisfied at all, because they wanted to go more progressively left. And we're like, if Trump wins a second term, the idea of going even progressively left may not even happen, considering all that's like happening right now. Looking at how many judges this dude has installed who've got no experience, and they are bone white and super conservative, and they follow conspiracy theories. I'm like, we ain't gonna have a chance to put in this far left policy that we want, like Medicare for all, if we don't vote the next presidency.
Like that boils back down to the true bigger picture.
Yeah,
we have to get out and register to vote. We have to not only register to vote, but we have to show up to these polls and vote. You know what I'm saying? Like it boils down to so many other things outside of who it is that's on the ballot. You know what I'm saying? And until people realize that registering and actually voting will make the significant change, it's going to continue to repeat itself.
You can't really be a single issue voter, especially during these times. Like, too many people I see on Twitter are just like single issue voters, and I'm like, that's not how this works, y'all. Like, unfortunately, as unfair as this shit is in America, especially for Black people, being a single issue voter is not going to get anything done for us in the long run. But
I only say revamp that Constitution because ain't nothing changed. They added stuff.
Yeah, of course, and of course, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be changed, because again, it's a if you look all the way back from when the Constitution was first created, I mean, you got a 220-year plus document that it's like, okay, each year changes. Well, not each year, but each era changes have had to have been made. That's why you have, out of the first 10 amendments, you've got 17 more after that. But why haven't we been adding more to make this a better democracy for everybody and a better republic for everybody? We haven't added an amendment since the 27th, and who knows how long that's been.
Because when you really think about it, it's not a nation that is free for all.
What was the 13th, 14th was for us?
So it was supposed to be.
And that was some bullshit?
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but they added in that little loophole in the 13th. So
see,
because it's the land of the free, home of the brave, right?
That's why.
Yeah, if any of y'all have watched 13, I recommend definitely going and watching it again. If you haven't, check it out. It's on Netflix. You'll be surprised about the loopholes in the 13th Amendment. Why we think, of course, it was for our betterment because, of course, it ended slavery, but it did not end the prison pipeline system, and that's pretty much what benefits from the 13th Amendment. So we can go into that. Exactly. Free is pretty much legal slavery, but either way, we're going to take a small break, but when we come back, we're just going to wrap up the conversation. We do got to do a little tribute here to those who just passed within the last couple of days. So don't move. We'll be right back. All right, y'all. So we're just going to wrap up this interview really quickly. Before we go, we did want to talk about, of course, we lost a few heroes within just the last couple of days. Of course, for those of you who are basketball fans, we had the passing first with Lute Olson, who was legendary coach of that Arizona team that won the national championship in '97. Those who know Mike Bibby, that was his college coach. I had never seen that series. Of course, I was only 6, but I do remember them talking about how they beat 3 number ones just to win the title. So, dude was a legend. Dude was an inspiration to all. Then, of course, we had the passing, of course, sticking with basketball, the passing of Cliff Robinson, who, for those who don't know, played for the Portland Trail Blazers, was a 6th man of the year in '94. Played on that Trailblazers team, of course, that went to the finals in '92, of course, lost to the Bulls. But Cliff they said that he was a go-getter. He was just gritty basketball player, established that foundation when he was part of the Pistons. He played for the Pistons in '01 and '02. And, of course, he pretty much established the foundation for that '04 team that eventually won the championship. So he doesn't get enough credit as a player. So we definitely wanted to pay our respects to him. He passing from lymphoma, any kind of cancer is really, really tough. It's a really, really, really dreadful disease that I cannot stand. F cancer. Because because it segues into the one that hit us the hardest this last couple of days. Chadwick Boseman. Yeah, it's still kind of hard talking about it because it's just like, dang, yo, like that was
he hadn't even recovered from Kobe. Yo.
Like, yeah, like we had so many people that passed. Of course, we saw in last month Naya Rivera passed, Malik B from the Roots passed. It's a lot of people who just have left this earth this year, and it's just been really difficult. And of course, a lot of us were still dealing with Kobe and Pop Smoke, with Betty Wright, not Betty White, Betty Wright. A lot. I had to throw that out there just in case somebody might say, wait, what happened to Betty White? Wanted to be sure that I threw that out.
No, she's still kicking.
Yeah, she's still living. But with all of these happening, and then it seems like 2020 just has been a gut punch after gut punch. It seems like one month just wants to outdo the other, and then next thing we know, Chadwick Boseman is going, and apparently he's been fighting colon cancer for 4 years, and nobody but his camp knew. I'm probably willing to bet that they probably didn't even know At least not. Maybe his wife knew.
They probably didn't know the severity though.
Mm-hmm.
If he did, confide in them, like
right, because it's really really difficult for me because as an actor, like that is one of the actors that I looked up to, especially when he broke out in 2013 playing Jackie Robinson. He inspired me to continue on when I didn't have any inspiration left to continue with acting. And even then, he still inspired me. And even then, like I realize now that I'm just going to continue, doing what I love, which is this, but also continue and get back into acting. Because just how big of an inspiration he was. It's just really crazy just how nothing in this earth, nothing in this life is ever guaranteed. And people eventually are gonna pass on to be with the Lord. But it's just like, dang, like 43. That's just I just can't he still could have had a longer life to live, man. And it just hit you out of the blue. So we definitely gotta pay our respects to Chadwick Boseman because he played a lot of important characters in those movies. I will do a tribute episode to him a little later, so be on the lookout for that. But with all that being said, Phil, what are your thoughts right now, man? With everything happening,
you need to drop that dispute, drop that anger that you have towards that man on that woman. You need to tell people you love them.
Yeah,
they're not gonna be here long. You never know. Tomorrow might be the last day. It's just this world is just it's getting crazy, man.
Yeah, man. And we living in crazy times right now. So I definitely would say just whatever disputes that you have with somebody, man, whatever grudge that you have, just drop it. If it's with family and y'all know that y'all love each other, just drop it for the sake of you may not see that person again, because the last thing you want to do is regret not forgiving or being forgiven for something that y'all might have argued about, and then next thing you know you can't do it anymore because they're not here anymore. You don't leave any regrets out there, man. Just do what y'all got to do. Continue to love each other and support each other. Because you never know what anybody's going through. That's ultimately what it boils down to as well, because clearly Chadwick had cancer and nobody again, except for the people in his camp, knew at all. He kept that a secret from us while everybody else was in pain, suffering out in the open, and he was encouraging them, being an inspiration to them. He was fighting his own battles that he didn't let nobody know. And I mean, some of us might have been able to tell, like from the pictures, that he might look a little sick. I honestly thought it was for a role that he was getting ready to play. I didn't call him any names or anything because a lot of people on Twitter were saying like he looked like he was on crack. I'm just being honest. That's what they were saying. Me, I'm thinking like, oh, he lost weight for a role. Must be like he was trying to get in shape for a role. That's why he looks a little thinned out. I didn't realize that, he was going through it. And he never let it show. Mm-hmm. Not once.
Strength.
Yeah, man.
He dropped, what was it, 5 movies?
10 in the span of the time that he got diagnosed with cancer up until now. 10. Apparently, within those last 4 years, he was in 10 movies. Probably 5 that we knew of that were like really, really big. But yeah, man,
he was working.
He was working and fighting and dealing with that, and nobody knew because, I mean, he didn't let anybody know. So I definitely would like to have, friends and family like that who don't let your business out into the street and whatnot. But also, because I mean, it really wasn't any of our business. That being said, it's really crazy that, you just kind of lose a hero out of nowhere. You're just like, whoa, what? Mm-hmm. What?
But he came here to do his job.
He left. But he didn't leave anything on the table, man. He said he put it all out there for us to enjoy.
I think the biggest takeaway for me, with having heard everything, is to, really make sure that you're checking your health.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just like we preach about making sure you're mentally stable, make sure that you're healthy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody saw this happening, especially when you hear colon cancer. You know, you hear about making sure that you get screened as a man after 50 or at 50 is when you're supposed to start that. He was 7 years shy of that, dealing with colon cancer. So you know what I'm saying? We're looking and dealing with a lot more health disparities at a earlier rate, if that makes sense. So I think most definitely outside of like your everyday grind and hustle, make sure that you're giving that same energy towards your own health and standpoint.
Man, especially for us being black men, colon cancer is one of the number one, if not the number one killer for us. As he said, like, you definitely got to get screened early for that, because right around 45, 50 is when you should, like, when doctors recommend that you should start getting screened. Chadwick was 43, and which means that he got diagnosed when he was 39. So in other words, we need to like start getting checked on that earlier. Like my grandfather had colon cancer. That's not what he passed of, because we were able to catch it early, but still we definitely want to be sure that we're checking on our physical health. I know as soon as I turn 30, probably even before that, I'm going to try and get a colonoscopy, because I want to be sure that I'm taking care of my physical health and making sure that if something like that does happen, that I catch it before anything happens. So, with that, y'all, we're gonna wrap this up. Phil, did you have any plugs that you want to put in real quick?
Just make sure y'all go listen to the I Supply the Product out on all music platforms. You can go follow me at feelme.bih. Again, that's feelme.bih on Instagram and Twitter. It's RE Refill90S. Yeah, you can find me there.
Word. Again, be sure that you go out and listen to I Supply the Product. If you need help looking for them, it's phil.me on all streaming platforms, phil.me. Be sure that you check out I Supply the Product. Again, shout out to Fresheners Righteous Minds. Me and Law just got our shirts. My boy Timo and Brennan out here creating some dope products. The shirts there were really dope. I'm definitely about to order another one, just because the shirt that they gave me was really nice.
Speaking of dope, I'm looking forward to my I Supply the Product T-shirt as well.
Definitely. Whenever that gets out,
when that drops, I'm in there like swimming.
Definitely, you follow me now. I'm gonna definitely put that up on Instagram. Let everybody know.
Word. Also, really quick, of course, if you are if y'all listening, definitely check out my boy Tyrone Leak Jr. Check out The Best Feeling. Support the real. That's his brand. So definitely go and support him. Of course, if you listen to the last interview, you also check out NASA as well. Check out her project that she just dropped, Welcome to the Station. You'll definitely enjoy the vibes. And
can't forget RJ Stackhouse.
Yes, RJ Stackhouse.
Self-harm that dropped 3 weeks ago.
Yep. So definitely check that out. Check out his work, his music. He's really dope. Again, go follow its_Jack Union. Check out our boy Bermuda, who's been pretty much supplying the beats here for the project for I Supply the Product. And also check out our boy Quarter, in Sticky, of course, Michael Quarter. He really makes dope beats as well, who has also supplied a few beats for NASA as well. So with that, last thing, I want you all to go check out my homie in Charleston. Her name is K Renee. She has a actual podcast called Brutal Honesty with K Renee. Definitely go check it out. It's on all streaming platforms. Check out her Instagram page. It's K the Bookworm. That's Kay the Bookworm. Very, very knowledgeable person. Also a avid reader. So if you are into book clubs, if you're into reading as well, definitely check her out. I guarantee you will enjoy what she has to say and what she reads. And I can guarantee you she can supply you with some books that will definitely stimulate your mind, as well as just you having a good time, especially if you're an avid reader. So with that, we're going to wrap this up. Once again, Feel Me, thank you for joining us, man. We appreciate you having you on here.
Thank y'all for real, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. With that, this has been Ked the Pro. This is the Chaotic Culture Podcast. Check out the bonus episode that I'm going to do here for Chadwick Boseman as well. Be blessed. Be safe. God is love. Peace. Thank you for joining us on this edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our pod, and check out previous episodes as well. Go ahead and follow the Chaotic Culture Podcast page on Facebook and follow at Chaotic Culture Pod on Instagram. Also, be sure to follow our personal pages. You can follow Law on Instagram at L.JR_96 and myself, K3D the Pro, on Instagram and Twitter. Please also do us the courtesy and follow our featured artists and guests listed in the episode description. If you like this beat, follow at the RJ Stackhouse on Instagram and his Twitter page at RJ Stackhouse for more music and music-related content. I hope today's episode blessed your souls and stimulated your mind. Until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, survive the chaos. This has been Ked the Pro with Chaotic Culture Podcast. Be blessed, be safe. God is love. Peace.